we go again. Democrats want you dependent on them. You can see it every time they're in office. That's the argument that keeps getting made. Now, what's disgusting is that I don't necessarily disagree with the fact that Democrats have a lot of flaws, right? My party has a fuck ton of flaws and a fuck ton of flawed people in it that they need to get their arms around. But what you're saying is just not factual. It's not borne out by the numbers. When we have Republican presidents, our economy suffers. When we have Democratic presidents, our economy rebounds. Reagan blew massive holes in the debt and deficit. He cut taxes more than any other president prior to him, and then had to raise taxes 14 times in 8 years and could never get his arms around his runaway economy. Clinton, after him, now we had the Poppy Bush years in between, which was ineffectual and just a 4-year extension of the Reagan years. Clinton, after him, 22 million new jobs created and 6 years of a balanced budget. Then we had Bush. Drove us into the ground with the Bush tax cuts, the 2 wars, and by the time he walked out the front door, we were in the midst of the worst recession since the Great Depression, and we were shedding 700,000 jobs a month. We were forced to make decisions about how much taxpayer money we were going to give to major corporations in order to keep them afloat so that even more people didn't lose their jobs. Enter Obama. What did he do? Longest streak of uninterrupted private sector job growth in American history. Brought us back from the brink of that recession. Doubled the stock market, halved the unemployment rate. Enter Trump. 3 years prior to COVID, he has a good economy, but a blunted economy. He oversees 1.4 million fewer jobs created in his first 3 years than Obama did in his last 3 years, and then he completely ignores a pandemic and winds up being the first president to lose jobs. Over 3 million fewer people were working when he left office than when he came into office. Enter Biden, and now we're putting people back to work. Not creating jobs, but putting people back to work. It was expected that about 400,000 were going to be put back to work as of the last jobs report on Friday of last week. It was actually just under 700,000. So the numbers don't speak to what you're saying is the case. Not to mention the fact, if you look at the states who are the most welfare dependent, they're all red states. These red states rely on government welfare to keep themselves going, and they have the most SNAP and welfare benefits recipients in the nation. But it's Democrats that want you dependent on. Give me a fucking break, man. Just look at the numbers and stop listening to your propagandist.